This video is sponsored by Normandy 1998. We resume our tale in a peaceful world, 4 years after the defeat of Majin Buu. Gohan and Pan have finally grown into adults, with the former having married Dill, while the latter works alongside her running a dojo, which teaches both martial arts and the philosophy of heroism and honor, though not at the expense of pragmatism, creating a blend of the Turtle School and Satan Castle ethoses. One point of note is that during this time, Pan's date of birth in the future timeline has been and gone, much to her concern, as Dill had not even been pregnant at the time, nor given any indication she intended to become so anytime soon. Though this doesn't affect Pan's existence, and she knows from personal experience what embarrassment can come from messing with her alternate timeline parents' love life, she does still want this reality's version of herself to exist, and so goes through a period of guilt, wondering if by being here, she's robbed this world's Pan of her life. Thankfully, her two best friends are there to comfort her, recognizing the turmoil she's going through and providing what support they can, even if it is a rather strange conversation for all three of them. Meanwhile, Goku is off on King Kai's planet training with Vegeta, and even after being revived, they still go there together frequently, and stay away for extended stretches. Though Vegeta claims it's because he doesn't want Kakarot getting ahead of him, Gohan suspects that after 7 years together in Otherworld, Goku is the closest thing Vegeta has to a friend. However, Pan disagrees, thinking this is just Vegeta's midlife crisis after Aunt Bulma rightfully didn't take him back, having recognized their one-night stand over a decade ago for what it was and moved on. As a result, when Bulma's big birthday bash at Capsule Corp rolls around, the two full-blood Saiyans are conspicuously absent, though this is more than compensated for by every other Z fighter and their families turning up for the occasion. Having not seen many of each other since the World Tournament, it is a joyous reunion, with even those who have been in contact more recently enjoying the chance to catch up, such as Chi-Chi, who wastes no time fussing over Gohan and Pan, due to them both having moved out. Gohan also uses this time to chat with Piccolo and Kami, while Pan hangs out with Goten and Trunks, and teases them over their lack of growth despite almost being teens. For the most part, the celebration is a smashing success, with everyone having fun until out of the blue, Gohan and Pan receive a telepathic message from King Kai, who is calling to inform them that Beerus the Destroyer, god of rank equivalent to the Supreme Kai, just came to his world, and easily defeated both Goku and Vegeta in their Super Saiyan 3 states while fighting in tandem. However, this is not the worst of it, as now he is heading to Earth, in search of something called a Super Saiyan God, whatever that is. So it's imperative they give him whatever he wants, and don't upset him, since if anything at all goes wrong, he'll destroy Earth, and everyone on it in an instant. Truthfully, the idea of kowtowing to a malevolent force deeply upsets Pan, as it reminds her of her childhood spent in fear of the androids, though remembering the large scar on her back she received for acting without thinking, she agrees to King Kai's plan. She and Gohan then head off to tell the others, since the last thing they want is a commenced in ignorance to doom the Earth. Though it seems they are too late, as Beerus and Whis are already here, with Gohan taking on the role of hosting, while Pan slips off to warn Piccolo, Bulma, and a few of the other veteran heroes. Thankfully, due to knowing what they're up against, the Z fighters show Beerus and Whis a good time, with the Destroyer coming to accept that maybe his dream of a Super Saiyan God was in fact just a dream, since if a scholarly Saiyan like Gohan and a minor god like Kami have not heard of it, then perhaps it does not exist. A shame, as he would have liked an arch rival, but he supposes it's not the mortal's fault for being unable to reach the level of divinity. As a result, everything goes smoothly like in canon, right up until the pudding scene, at which point it continues going smoothly, since with no Buu to be a greedy glutton, Beerus gets to eat a half-dozen pudding cups, calling them remarkable, and taking a nap by the pool, while Whis chats with Bulma, striking up a fast friendship with her. This mercifully buys enough time for Goku and Vegeta to make their way back to Capsule Corp and survey the situation, regrouping with Gohan and Pan as they discuss exactly what they should do about the God of Destruction. Figuring the best course of action is to try and give Beerus his Super Saiyan God, Goku suggests they ask Shenron if he knows how to become one, an idea the others all agree to, with Bulma even acquiescing to give up her bingo prize if it means not dying. Summoning Shenron, the Z fighters then ask the dragon about the form, with him revealing the ritual, while thanks to being less frazzled as he hasn't just come off a fight with Beerus, Vegeta correctly surmises the fact that they need 6 Saiyans total, not 5 as the wording would suggest. Fortunately, they have exactly this many, with Goku, Gohan, Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and Pan, allowing them to conduct the ritual without issue and bestow the power of a god onto one of their number. Here Pan expects a fight, readying herself to argue with Vegeta about why it should be her grandfather and not him who becomes the Super Saiyan God, though in a surprising showing of maturity, Vegeta does not protest her assertion, saying Beerus specifically asked for Kakarot when he came to King Kai's world, though he does demand that next time the ritual is cast, it be on him. From here, the events of Battle of Gods return to canon, with Goku battling Beerus up to the stratosphere, and gaining his respect before the deity departs with a promise to meet again someday for a rematch, now that his dream of an arch rival has been realized. Following this, peace returns to Earth, at least outwardly, as despite the amiable relationship Beerus has developed with her grandpa, Pan does not like the idea that he is looming over them, and so remembering what Vegeta said during the ritual, pushes for herself, Gohan, and reluctantly even the prince himself to each have it done on them over the next few months, so that should Beerus return, the four of them can put up a fight. In fact, the only reason she also doesn't nominate Goten and Trunks is because with their small bodies, they might not be able to handle the enormous power boost of the form, and so compromises by promising to help them get God Ki once they've had their growth spurts. Subsequently, when Whis returns to Earth at Bulma's invitation to try some more Earthling cuisine, he finds not one, but four gods, with Goku and Vegeta sparring together in the wasteland where they first fought, while Gohan and Pan keep up their own training at the dojo, having built it specifically to withstand the might of planet-busting combatants. This sudden uptick in deities fascinates Whis, with the angel promising to keep a closer eye on them, and even suggesting they could start training under him on Beerus' world if they would like. While Goku, Vegeta, and Pan are all interested in this offer, Gohan refuses, both because he has work, and more importantly, because Videl is pregnant, so he can't just abandon her and go off planet whenever he likes. Agreeing with Gohan, Pan suggests that in that case, why doesn't Whis train them here? That way Gohan can take part, and the angel will be close to all the food he likes, being able to eat it every day. This prospect makes Whis giddy, with him taking here to mean Capsule Corp, and agreeing to move in right away, before teleporting back to Beerus' world to pack. When he is gone, Bulma lambasts Pan for being such a Saiyan, declaring that if she wanted a blue freeloader as a house guest, she would have invited him herself. Quelling a little under this anger as it reminds her of her early days with future Bulma, Pan apologizes. Though, in her defense, this is also beneficial for Bulma, since with Whis here, she'll be the safest person in the galaxy, considering how he's strong enough to stand above a Destroyer God. Begrudgingly, Bulma accepts that this is probably true, with her making an effort to ensure Whis is comfortable when he returns about an hour later, sporting gaudy vacation clothes over his angelic uniform. However, as the four godly Saiyans are about to learn, this is not going to be a vacation for them, as beneath his foppish exterior, Whis is a strict, unyielding master, putting Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, and Pan through their paces from sunrise to sunset, stopping only to eat, with the Capsule Corp coffers taking a rather considerable hit, as they're now feeding multiple Saiyans and an angel. The majority of this training comes in the form of sparring, as like most things, the best way to gain mastery over God Ki is to use it constantly, with Whis having the quartet split into pairs and duke it out in their Super Saiyan God forms, so their bodies can get more acclimated to the sensation. This is hardly an issue, as all four of them are quite used to this style of training, with Goku and Vegeta pairing up while the two hybrids do likewise, though here the angel stops them, saying they won't be able to advance if they keep falling back on the same opponents, so for the time being at least, he wants Goku to train with Gohan, while Vegeta's opponent will be none other than Pan. Having no objections, the teams then switch up, with the father-son duo quite eager to test their mettle against one another, while across from them, the feuding pair feel likewise, as this will give them a chance to settle the score they were unable to back at the World Tournament. As Whis had hoped, these pairings allow for rapid growth in all four of his students, as Goku and Gohan's natural synchronicity allows them to strike up a great rhythm when they spar, quickly getting into an almost zen state and excelling higher than they thought they could. Meanwhile, Pan and Vegeta have the opposite effect on each other, though somehow yield the same result, as their sheer disdain for one another allows them to keep pushing past their injuries and fatigue in their desire to put the other in their place. As a result, it does not take long for all four of them to gain a good handle on their Super Saiyan God state, with Goku and Vegeta as the most ambitious among them even looking into ways they could possibly go beyond the power of a god. Meanwhile, Gohan and Pan split their extra time and focus between their work, which now primarily comprises of night shifts, and helping Videl as she draws close to her due date. Finally, the fated day arrives, with Whis even helping out by using his time powers to make the delivery instantaneous and painless, resulting in a baby girl miraculously appearing in Videl's arms. Looking happier than he ever has in his life, Gohan offers a finger to the infant, welcoming her to the world, while with a chuckle, Videl jokingly asks if he has any ideas what they should call their daughter, before smiling at the adult Pan who is standing at her other side. And so it is that present Pan is born, quickly proving herself to be the apple of her family's eye, with even Goku taking a break from training to meet this version of his granddaughter. Due to Videl having had the easiest labor in human history, and thus being in a good state, the Dragon team decide to mark the occasion of Pan's birth the way they do most major milestones, by hosting a party at Capsule Corp. As one would expect, Bulma pulls out all the stops, with the celebration running late into the night. However, Pan, that is to say, future Pan, does not partake to the same degree as her family and friends, instead clutching her younger self in her arms and rocking her gently. In a soft voice as to not to disturb the infant's sleep, she tells her of all the great adventures she's likely to have, of the assorted oddballs who make up her nearest and dearest, though more than that, she imparts her greatest wish for the child, not to be the strongest or the most renowned, but to be safe and happy, since every child deserves to grow up safe and happy, and thanks to the world they've worked and fought so hard to build for her, this version of Pan should be able to do just that. And that's where we'll leave things. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts, suggestions, or screams of rage in the comments below.